What is the news? When you turn on the TV and flip to CNN or Fox or NBC, what are you being shown? Ostensibly, the news is just that, a presentation of current events. I think we all know there's a little more to it. Every network has a bias, and if you've been watching this channel for a while, you'll know that the corporate media as a whole has a single overarching bias. But we'll get to that. The question we need to answer today is, in a world where information is more readily available than ever, are we truly informed or are we being manipulated?
Hi everyone, I am IRFAN and welcome to Major Sudut. Today, Margaret and I will be diving into a shift that is happening right now in our media landscape. So back in the day, we are used to traditional news like the BBC or CNN. And they had all the powers because they control what news they want to publish. They control how they choose to write the news, and we just had to believe them. But today, the system is completely broken. Why? We don't wait anymore for 8 o'clock news or major news channel. We just go through our phone. We scroll on TikTok, For You page, on Instagram, on Twitter, or any social medias, and we already getting that without having to wait until a certain time. So over the next 15 minutes, we will be discussing about what happens in social media algorithm when it clashes with big news corporation. So to show you guys what we mean, we're going to be looking at some of the biggest viral cases that took over our algorithm for weeks. It will start with the intense journalism coming out from Palestine, the internet circus of the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial, and the wild conspiracy theories about Kate Middleton and the missing UK woman Nicola Bulley. To start us off, let's look at how the mainstream news filter what we are allowed to see. So for this, I'll hand it over to ALEYA FATINI.
Press freedom, freedom of thought. People use those terms when talking about countries like the United States, France, Australia, democracies. In 1988, Noam Chomsky co-authored a book with Edward Herman called Manufacturing Consent. It blasted apart the notion that media acts as a check on political power, that media inform the public, serve the public, so that we can better engage in the political process. In fact, media manufacture our consent. They tell us what those in power need them to tell us so we can fall in line. Democracy is staged with the help of media that work as propaganda machines.
So thanks IRFAN. I'm ALEYA. So there is a classic media concept where we call social responsibility theory. So in other words, this means that news channels have a moral duty to give the public the raw, honest and balanced truth so we can understand the world better. But if you look at the international media right now that covers the Palestine and Gaza crisis, they are actually kind of failing this duty actually. A media watchdog group called FAIR, which stands for Fairness and Accuracy in Reporting. So what exactly does FAIR do? So they actually track the data on the news channels. So FAIR found that many major Western news channel outlets actually heavily police their own language, which is questionable. For example, leaked internal memos showed that the top news networks explicitly told their journalists to not use words like genocide or occupied territories when reporting on Gaza. Why? Because by sanitizing the language and hiding the historical background, these news stations aren't being fully accurate. So they are basically filtering the truth because of a corporate and political pressure. And this ties in perfectly with how the media tries to make us feel about different groups of people. So let's pass this to WAFIAH to break that down.
Thanks, Alia. I'm WAFIAH. So, to build on that, we need to realize that media content is never just neutral information. It's full of bias and hidden agendas. The media basically acts like a director, deciding who gets to be the good guy and who is the bad guy based on race and identity. So, look at the words used for Palestinian victims versus Western victims. Mainstream headlines use very passive for Palestinians but active language for others. You will literally say the headline that say Palestinian civilian died after an explosion as if it's just magically happened. But when it's an allied country, the headline says X killed by attackers.
Palestinians aren't killed by Israeli bombs. They die. Israelis, however, are killed. Buildings aren't destroyed by Israeli airstrikes. They collapse after Israeli airstrikes.
This subtle language trick downplays minority suffering and controls how we view race. So we see this exact pattern in pop culture too.
Do you follow this, or this account on Twitter? Congrats! You've become a victim of an influence campaign. Influence campaigns from actors with malicious intent have become increasingly prevalent, and this is a great example. Their goal is to reach audiences who would otherwise be unreachable in order to sway their thinking.
During the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial, the media completely flattened a highly complex domestic abuse situation into simple internet memes and toxic stereotypes just to get clicks.
My dog stepped on me, stepped on him. I don't see him anymore.
Amber Heard is definitely pooped out.
Tweets, videos, and memes mimicking Amber Heard have racked up billions of views across social media.
And I was walking out of the bedroom, slapped me across the face. I turned to look at him, and I said, "Johnny, you hit me. You just hit me."
A mainstream media struggles to tell diverse, fair stories because corporate profits always comes first. But what happens when this corporate bias collides with our chaotic 24/7 internet brains? Over to you, Mimi.
So thanks to WAFIAH, so I am Mimi. So honestly, because we are hyper connected 24 hours, so our brain are suffering from a major culture of distraction. We are literally busy to think.
So the fact is, while distraction is nothing new, if you are seeking distraction, then distraction you will find. And so what people get caught up in are these tasks that always feel urgent, that we're constantly reacting to things, and we have no time for reflecting on things.
So our social media feed treat massive human tragedies and silly celebrity gossip exactly the same. So think about your own FYP. You scroll past a heartbreaking video of an airstrike in Gaza, then immediately see a funny dance trend and followed by a wild conspiracy theory about Cape Militants Photoshop field of the disappear of Nicola Boulay. So this constant switching make us numb, and then it turn real human suffering into disposable content for entertainment, and it ruins how we interact in real life. Look at the Nicola Boulay case in the UK. TikTok armchair detective literally overran the actual police investigation just to get a views and like totally ignoring the real family pains. So
they understand that we are subjective people, that we all have our biases, but they want to maintain as much objectivity as possible. And I was looking at Instagram stories the other night, and I noticed a writer that I always read in the New Yorker, with her baby at a anti-Israel protest, waving a Palestinian flag. And I'm like, wow, like that's just going to color the way that I read her stories, seeing that. And, that has just become something that is now extremely normative among legacy journalists, and it's a shift that I think is actually like quite profound.
And because people are tired of this corporate media, filter and cold, robotic TV anchors, the public is completely rejecting objectivity. We don't care about traditional news routine anymore.
I totally agree. I mean, I think that there are a lot of journalists now who feel like they are obligated to do stories that are aligned with their sense of justice, or to try and undo power structures.
During the worst moment in Gaza, millions of young people did not turn on television. They went straight to Instagram and TikTok to follow local independent citizen journalists.
Stop this. This is catastrophic. Literally, the lives of these babies depend on electricity and fuel.
Motaz, Bisain, and Palestia. These are the names of 3 content creators from Palestine's Gaza, now reporting as citizen journalists amid Israel's relentless bombardment.
So this creator did not try to act neutral or robotic. They cry on camera, they show the raw human reality, and they talk directly to use in the comment. This is the literal definition of alternative media. It bypasses corporate gatekeepers, build a real relationship with the audience, and changes global public opinion from the bottom up. So back to you, Irfan Haris.
Thanks, team. So, to tie everything together, what we are seeing today is a total media revolution. Our analysis proved that old school corporate media bias has pushed audiences away, while it is incredible that social media let us bypass corporate filters to see the raw truth of the truth, like the independent coverage in Palestine. We also have to be careful. If we get stuck in this hyper-connected culture of distraction, we risk turning missing person cases.
Wednesday marked 6 days since 39-year-old Alina Moore was last seen on surveillance video.
Global crisis and human life.
Global warming is literally changing the shape of some of the coldest regions around the world.
Just into another 15-second piece of entertainment for us. As media students, we want to leave you with one final question. Are we using social media to actually find the truth, or are we just letting the algorithm distract us from what's real? Thanks for listening to our commentary, and we can't wait for our consultation session.